So hello, my name is Tawana Webb. I'm from East Chicago, Indiana. I know a lot of people ask if I'm from Illinois, but no, I am from a little city called East Chicago, Indiana. I am 40 years old. I'm an educator. I love children. I've been working in the field of early childhood education for over 18 years. I've been in management for the past 10 years, and I'm currently an education manager. But my business, something that I hold dear to my heart, my husband and I put together a business called Indy Juneteenth. And Indy Juneteenth is such an amazing opportunity for us to create a platform to encourage and make people aware of this national holiday. One day, my husband, he's such an historian. He's all about history. He loves talking about history, and he has educated me so much. And so this was his dream. His goal was to end the month of February with a celebration for Black History Month. And so then we noticed that there was little to no representation of Juneteenth here in the city of Indianapolis. So then we decided, hey, let's make sure that we bring this awareness here to the city. And so we did just that. And so we do that through putting on not only entertainment, not only events, but we also give back to our community. We do food drives, we do back to school, give clothes. During the month of November, we provide Thanksgiving baskets for over 60 families. This year we were able to provide backpacks to children to go back to school. Just so many different things. The clothes drive. During Christmas, we get a child, our family, to sponsor. So Indy Juneteenth is, the holiday. It's more than just that. It's more than just a holiday. It's really an opportunity to learn our part of history, because I truly believe if you don't know where you came from, then you can't really appreciate who you are. And so it's important that we know who we are. And so we started just by putting on a festival at some of the local community parks. And so I'm so happy to say that this event has grown so big that we've outgrown our current local parks, that we are now going to put on, I want to say, one of our largest. This is our 5th anniversary. We're going to put on one of our largest festivals at the White River State Park this year. Miss Indy Juneteenth is one of our largest fundraiser that helps support our festival that we put on in June. So the Miss Indy Juneteenth Crown Her Pageant is going to be our 2nd annual. And our first one was amazing. The journey to watch these ladies was amazing. We talked about the her in the title of the Crown Her Pageant. And her stands for healing, empowerment, and respect for one another as African American women. And so what this pageant is something different. It's not your regular pageant. This pageant is focused on ages 21 and up, because we felt like there's a necessary need for us to kind of build that connection with women of this age, and especially African American women. I feel like sometimes it's kind of hard for us to encourage one another. We're all doing great things, but my goal and intentions with this pageant was to make sure that I can join ladies together with like interests that are entrepreneurs or either going to further their education, to stand in their purpose, and then also to create a sisterhood, a forever sisterhood. So we all start this pageant out by saying that we are all queens, and the award, everybody will receive the ultimate reward, and that will definitely be the journey and the connection that they'll make along the way. So the prize and the crown is the journey. The Crown Her Miss Indy Juneteenth pageant, the process is very simple. First, we start off usually in the month of October. We, put up advertising and promoting interviews. So there is an interview process that the ladies have to go through. And some of the requirements, you just have to be living currently in Indianapolis or the surrounding cities. You have to be 21 or up, currently enrolled in college, or an owner of your own business. We want to provide the winner with a scholarship towards their education or towards their business. So we start with the interview process. we start doing that. And this year, the registration fee was free. We felt like we just wanted people to be a part. We did not want to put a price tag on it, and we did not want that to stop anyone that wanted to be a part of this historical event. So you have the interview. We post it for like a month, and then we set up those interviews. We ask questions. Once the interview process is over, we will select the top 6 women that have qualified. We use a rubric, success rubric, to choose who is the perfect candidate for this pageant. Once we do that, then we start, we have an informational. The informational this year is virtual, of course, just due to some things that were still happening with the pandemic. So there is a informational that takes place, give the ladies an opportunity to meet each other and also to meet the committee.
My name is Stephanie Mosey. I was born and raised in Alabama. I've been living in Indianapolis now about 26 years. My role with Indy Juneteenth is a mentee to one of the Miss Teresa Clay. I'm also the secretary for the Indy Juneteenth mentor board. I have been a part of the committee for going on now 2 years, and I have enjoyed every moment of growth that I shared in learning more about Indy Juneteenth and watching it develop into this enormous, majestic event. My background with the pageant history, I've known Miss Webb. We were colleagues, work colleagues. We worked together for almost 9 years. So she inquired if I'd be interested in joining her team. And of course I said yes. I know that she's an amazing thought processor and things that she takes to heart and is extremely creative. So I want to be a part of any idea and team-oriented environment she wants to provide in such an event such as Indy Juneteenth. I didn't know anything about Indy Juneteenth, to be honest, but I've learned what it embodies and what it stands for, and if I've embraced it, and I feel that I can also represent Indy Juneteenth in any capacity as well. My mentee is Teresa Clay. She is a licensed optometrist who travels around from state to state and even out of the country in eyewear. And she has taught me a lot about her. She goes against the grain in a lot of different things. She's open to suggestions, but also has a creativity within herself that she doesn't need much from me. She has embedded within herself what she sees. She's a visionary, she's creative, she's talented, and I love her energy and her passion about what she does. She puts forth every effort to make sure that she exemplifies and also masters everything she puts her hand to.
My name is Teresa Clay. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I have lived in Indianapolis for almost 9 years now. I definitely call it home. I have a son, Mason. My background is I'm a licensed optician, and I've been in the optical world forever, since I was 19 years old. But my heart is in foster care and helping people understand the effects of childhood trauma. That's what's dear to my heart because that's what affected my life. And so I feel like God has given me a voice to speak out about it and help make a difference. So I do that in a lot of different ways, but documentaries and different things, projects I've worked on. I went into foster care at 13 years old, and for me it was childhood abuse, it's childhood sexual abuse, and that's something that I speak on publicly. And I do that because so many of us don't. So I feel like I have an opportunity to be a voice for so many people that feel like they just really can't speak about it. There's a lot of shame attached to it. So I made it my mission to do that. But at 13, I was left at a police station, and I really had to create a life for myself from that point forward. And I've done that. I took it as a challenge, and I think I've done that. You know, I've shared my story on so many platforms, including the Oprah show several times, and she's someone that, you know, I've kept contact with over the years. You know, I think the best thing that people can do is use their voice. You've been given a voice, and you don't need permission to use it. You don't need permission to use it or to share your story. So I encourage people to just talk and to share and to encourage others and to be present in life. A lot of times we're not present in life, we're living our past. We're walking around living our past. So I would love to encourage people to be present, to show up, to take a chance, you know, and to not be ashamed, not to be ashamed at all to share, because you never know who you might save a life, you might save someone, you might free someone just from sharing your story. So that's what I encourage people to do. Miss Indy Juneteenth, this is for me a dream deferred. This for me is everything for people like myself who've often been forgotten, left out, beat down. You know, they don't feel valued, they don't feel like they have worth. You know, for me to be able to possibly end up a queen at the end of that, come on. I feel like we've taken the crown for all of those people.
I'm Crystal Woolridge. I am the program manager with Crown Her Miss Indy Juneteenth from Indianapolis, Indiana, born and raised. I originally got started with Indy Juneteenth and Miss Indy Juneteenth from Tawana Webb. She reached out to us. We went to college together, Indiana State, Sycamores. But she reached out to me and via Facebook and was like, hey, I'm starting this pageant, would love for you to be a part, as we were in other organizations in college, so we knew our work ethic. So she said, I would love for you to be a part and help me on this journey to begin this pageant. And she said, would you like to join? I said, of course. So I took that and ran with it. And at the time, it came at a perfect opportunity because I felt myself like, I need something extra to do. I went to work, church, home. So this was a great opportunity to be a part of. And I've been excited and still on fire ever since. My mentee is the wonderful contestant number 2, Brittany Jones. Brittany, she started late with us due to some other ladies not being able to participate in the pageant. She came along at the tail end, but still on fire to be a part of this program. Brittany, who wears many hats as a business owner, CEO, a mother, a realtor. So getting to know Brittany and just juggling, all that she juggles has been amazing. She's wanted to be a part of this program and she has been running ever since. So it's been an honor being her mentor, even though she's come in late in the game, but you would have thought that she started right at the very beginning. She didn't miss a beat.
My name is Brittany Jones. I am from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm 36 years old. I am a realtor with This Girl Sells Indy Realty Group and also an entrepreneur. I actually met James at a networking event and I was really intrigued by, just the whole Indy Juneteenth movement that he and his wife started. He kind of asked me, would you be interested in doing the pageant? I think you would be great for it. So at that point, I was like, yeah, it's kind of outside of my comfort zone. I'm very much used to being in the background. I do have a podcast with my sister, but podcasting is audio, not live on stage. So I'm used to being edited and on camera, but not live. But this has been a year of conquering my fears and stepping outside of my comfort zone. So I have always been interested in real estate since I was very young. My mom used to take me to open houses when I was younger. Just on a random Sunday after church, we would go walk through houses just for something to do. And I've kind of always been interested in architecture and interior design. So when I got older, I decided to get my real estate license. It actually took me almost 15 years to get my real estate license. I decided the first time when I was 22 to go ahead and take the test to become a realtor. Life kind of got in the way, never finished the classes. Stepped back into it maybe 8 years later when I was about 30. I decided to try again to take the class. And again, life got in the way, was never able to finish the class. And then the pandemic hit. And I'm like, you know what, this is something that I've always wanted to do. I had a job where I was working from home, so I had nothing but time. So I decided to go ahead and hit the ground, take my class. I finished it, got licensed in September of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. But I still wasn't really active until September of this past year when I joined my friend's team, This Girl Sells Indy Realty Group. And I've kind of been going ever since, full-time with real estate probably the last 7 or 8 months. So it's been a long journey for me getting my real estate license, but you know, it's a testament to just sticking to something. You know that that's a dream of yours, you know that that's a goal, accomplish it, you know, at all costs. Do what you gotta do to get that goal done, no matter how long it takes.
My name is D'Angela Hall. I'm actually native of Indianapolis, Indiana. I met Tawana and James Webb at Indiana State, where I went for college. I was in Expressions of Color Modeling Troupe. And she was the president my freshman year, and she ultimately helped mentor me, and I became the president once she was gone a couple of years later. But that's how I met Tawana and James. I actually got involved in the Miss Indy Juneteenth pageant. Tawana reached out to me on Facebook. It had been a while since I actually had a conversation with her, spoken to her. But she told me what she wanted to do with the pageant and asked me if I was interested in helping. And of course, I jumped right on it. I'm all about women empowerment and whatever we can do to help uplift others. So I was ready to be a part of it. My mentee is Miss Alicia. I feel like I got the easiest person to be a mentor to, because maybe if I wasn't a part of this pageant, she can be my mentor. So I was blessed to get her as a mentee. She probably pours more into me than I feel like I probably give to her, but she may say opposite, but she's an awesome woman, just on so many levels.
My name is Alicia Sims. I am 42 years old. I am the owner and managing partner for Quad Solutions LLC and the founder for I Am Not Bulletproof Incorporated. I am a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 1. I am a performing artist. I love to travel. I like to spend time with family, play games. I'm very competitive, but in both nature of activities and influencing others to be the best that they can be. I am, at the root of me, I am faith-based, so I follow the principles, morals, and values of Christianity, and it literally constructs my life and the behaviors that I choose to display each day. I try to make sure that I am accountable for my behaviors and characteristics as well as those around me. And I try to be a positive influence to everybody I come in contact with. I got involved with Indy Juneteenth last year when I was asked to sing the National Negro Anthem at their first pageant. And initially, when I was asked to sing the song, my intentions were to come sing the song, stay for the event for a little bit. But I was captivated by what I experienced, because my usual experience of pageants have been about beauty and typical interviews and questions and highlighting the outer appearance. But it was apparent within the very first part of that pageant that it was more about character and influence and being able to support each other. So I was drawn in and found myself there till almost the end of the event, and actually was almost late to the event that I had to be at afterwards. But I applaud Indy Juneteenth for what they are doing to bring this holiday to the city of Indianapolis as well as to the nation. And this year, Tawana reached out to me and suggested that I might be a good contestant for the pageant this year, which again, I have never done a pageant before in my life. So, but seeing how the event was last year greatly influenced me to be able to take a stab at it, and I have not looked back and not regretted not one moment of the journey. So I've been singing since I was about 4 years old. I come from a family of singers. There are all kinds of singers, gospel singers, R&B singers, country singers, believe it or not. So being around singing started from a very young age. I can remember my mother having record players and music and listening to all kinds of genres of music, starting with Mahalia Jackson. I can remember Sam Cooke, some of the gospel favorites that were there, all the way up to Dolly Parton and Tina Turner, and just hearing the passion behind voices. So that was an influence for me, and I can hear through music that is very therapeutic for people, and that is a big plus for me. So I try to give the same thing whenever I'm singing as well. So far, it's been great. It's been wonderful getting to know the other contestants. And again, we've formed a sisterhood. So with all of us being from different parts of life, whether it be age or demographic or social status or relational status, we've all been able to both withdraw and deposit from each other. And we've celebrated some very pivotal moments in life. I think everybody has experienced both a high and a low in their lives, and we've all been very supportive of each other. Each of us have brought different assets and perspectives to the group, as well as areas of improvement to the group. And so we've been very vulnerable with each other, and we've been very supportive to each other. So I look forward to that journey happening and continuing even after the pageant.
No, my name is Tracy Campbell. I'm a proud board member of Miss Indy Juneteenth Pageant. I am from Gary, Indiana, and I'm super excited to be a part of this and being a mentor. I have been doing pageants since about the 8th grade. I started modeling at Indiana State University with Expressions of Color Modeling Troupe with Tawana Webb and many of the other board members. I believe this year and last year's biggest difference is the first year went so well. Our expectations are even higher, and we just feel responsible to keep up the same pace and almost exceed it and not let people down from what we were able to accomplish last year. My mentee is Ebony. Very high expectations for Ebony. She's amazing, very educated, beautiful queen, and working with her has been amazing, and she is definitely a great contestant, and I'm so happy that she's a part of this pageant because she represents so many different things that you don't expect from African American women, and that makes me just super proud to be her mentor and hope that I do right by her, and at the same time she's able to encourage so many other young Black women to be a part of what her purpose is.
My name is Ebony Duff. I'm 32 years old. I was born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. I graduated from Pike High School in 2008 and went on to go to Indiana State University, graduated in 2012. Since then, I've been a chemist working at various pharmaceutical companies, and I have started my own family. We've got a family of 6 kids at home. I heard about Indy Juneteenth through a friend. She tagged me on Facebook to the pageant and told me, hey, I should join this pageant or try to join this pageant. So I tried and they accepted me, and here I am. I chose to join the pageant because I wanted to do something out of the norm and get out of my box, out of my shell, and maybe help my self-esteem, as well as meet new ladies with the same mindset as me. I'm making science kits, doing science demonstrations and science parties. And this is just to get some kids a more feel for the science field. It starts at home, and I feel like this would put more Black faces in the science community. So science kits and science demonstrations.
My name is Indy Elizabeth, and I am born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. I met Tawana and James Webb at Indiana State University, where we all went to college together. I was actually in a modeling troupe with Miss Tawana called Expressions. And that's how I got to meet her. And then her husband, James, actually helped me move in as a freshman. So it's kind of been a family since then. And after they had their children came to my preschool that I owned. So from then, it's just been family. Tawana had this amazing idea, and she was like, I wanted to know if you are interested in helping me build something with Indy Juneteenth. And of course, I said yes, because I love the Webs. I am brand new to the pageant world. However, this is kind of therapy for me. I've struggled with some self-identity things, with depression and anxiety, so I kind of channeled all that and used those tools that I'm getting in therapy and things to help other people who are suffering from depression, anxiety, or self-identification. So I just felt like this would be an easy way for me to kind of heal and cope with the things that I personally have going on right along with helping someone else. My mentee is Miss Alexis Stanislaus, and she is from New York. and I am super excited for her. I'm super proud of her. She is this young, energetic person, and she moved to Indianapolis all by herself at the age of 20 to 21, I think she was around about. So for that, it took a lot of courage, and I know it did. So I'm excited to see her come out of her shell, and I'm excited for everybody to see what I already know she could do.
Hi, my name is Alexis Stanislaus. I'm 22 years old. I was born in Maryland, but I was raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I've been living in Indiana for a year now. I'm a professional baker at Butler University, and I own my own online bakery called Nana's House in honor of my grandmother. I like to make custom cakes, cupcakes, cookies, really like all kinds of pastries, but I've been dabbling in breads and stuff now. So I heard about Miss Indy Juneteenth on my way back from Maryland in the airport. I was on social media and I just happened to see that they were having a pageant here. I've always wanted to be in a pageant, but I didn't know where. So this was my opportunity. I chose to be Miss Indy Juneteenth because it's a great example of sisterhood in the Black community. I feel like over the years, so many Black women have tear each other down, but we just continue to lift each other up and help each other in our confidence, especially me as the youngest contestant. Everyone else is older than me and they're constantly, on me and pushing me and motivating me, and it just feels really good.
Once we're done with the informational, we do a photo shoot so we can start promoting and getting that information out there. After our photo shoot, we start our practices. So we practice once a week on Sundays. We do 2-hour practices, and after that 2-hour practice, when we get closer towards the event in May, we start having 3-hour practices. How many years ago? 5 years ago. I was able to find my very own to make it complete at all. Yeah.
Courage. She's gained much wisdom over the years, and only being 22, her journey is still in the making. She is confident in knowing she will go down as a legend. But wait, did you know peacocks are originally from India? Well, not this one. This one's from West Indies. With change comes beauty. Test number 3. Alexis Stanislaus.
In the beat. So at first they'll come up, right? Okay. And then at some point when I'm thinking myself, I'm waiting to share.
Maybe they can follow.
Sit around you.
Yeah, they can sit around the throne. Like they can sit around there.
It's like their last moment.
I'm thinking not having the crowns on the entire time, but having the crown in front of them. And when you're done,
You place the crowns on all of them?
or they crown themselves and follow you.
Yeah.
Like she inspired them, and they take their crowns and crown themselves and then follow you to the throne and then stay around.
So I'm thinking, should you be talking, should you be walking to your seat if the seat's gonna be there? I'm trying to figure out how she would enter the stage.
Because I plan to be like in regular clothes. I'm not gonna dress up or nothing. I'm gonna be like
Comfortable.
Segments of that form do you have?
5, 2,
How many are there?
5, 3.
I need 2 more by May.
I know, right? I was just thinking, like that first part, it sounds like something that you would tell your oldest because she's getting ready to explore the world. So you're literally telling her, don't let the weight of the world overcoming. So boom, now she's on stage. The next segment, you figure out what kind of kid that goes with, and then you bring the next kid out. And then your other segment, so by the time you get your fifth segment, everybody's on stage together and you're gonna enjoy.
And then what's the end of your form set? Because I want them to know that those are your babies.
Right.
These are my daughters.
And I guess the last part I could read is all of them, because it says, "Dear daughter, I look into your face and I see a reflection of me, my mother, and her mother, and her mother. You come from many generations of amazing women. You are the embodiment of all that we fought for. Our stories will shape your story, and though you'll fight your own battles, remember it's never in vain. Your testimony is always bigger than you."
Like that. Everybody about to cry. I don't know what I'm talking about. Throughout that time, we're focusing on the her, which is healing. So we make sure that we do something that allow the ladies to relax, to focus on themselves and self-love and self-care, because that is really part of this pageant. So we would do like a spa day, talking about how you can take time out to just for yourself to meditate. And the other thing is empowerment. So we provide like a small workshop, whether it's about finance, about starting your own business, just giving them some information to help empower them to want to do better in whatever their current state is. And then respect. And so of course all of that comes first and foremost. So respect, we just ask all the ladies to make sure that you have respect for one another. And most importantly, have respect for yourself. And so we hope that we do that by modeling how that looks. As a committee, we are a family, we're a team, we're a sisterhood. So we demonstrate and model respect for these ladies that come to be a part of this pageant, so we can model what we want them to do and how we would expect for them to be along this journey.